Vale. The circulatory system is a vast network of organs and vessels that is responsible of carrying substances via the blood, which circulates through the blood vessels and is pumped by the heart.
The blood is a thick red liquid fluid that circulates in the principal vascular system of human beings and other vertebrates. It is composed by the red blood cells are large microscopic cells without nucleus. They transport oxygen from the lungs to all the living tissues of the body and carry away carbon dioxide. The white blood cells are the first responders for our immune system. They seek out, identify, and blind on bacteria, viruses, and fungi, then surround and destroy them. The platelets are cell fragments without nucleus that work blood clotting chemical at the site of wounds. The plasma is the liquid component of the blood in which the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets are suspended. It helps to keep fluid from leaking out of blood vessels into tissues and carry substances such as hormones and certain drugs.
The blood vessels are elastic tubular channels that transport blood through all the body. The arteries are blood vessels which are strong and flexible. They carry the blood away from the heart to other organs and tissues. The veins are blood vessels with thinner and elastic walls than arteries. They have the function of transporting the blood towards the heart. The capillaries are microscopic blood vessels that branch into every tissue of our body, ensuring that every cell has a blood supply. The heart is a hollow pump-like organ of the circulatory system, and it is in charge of pumping the blood through the blood vessels. It is mainly composed of rhythmically contractile smooth muscle. It is located in the rib cage between the lungs and slightly to the left. It is divided into two halves, each one with two cavities, and it is separated lengthwise by the septum.
Path of the blood. When the heart contracts, it puts blood into the blood vessels, and there is a certain path that the blood follows through the body. Humans have two circulatory systems. One circuit is for pulmonary circulation, and the other circuit is for systematic circulation.
Systemic circulation. Oxygenated blood returns to the heart via the pulmonary veins. The pulmonary veins enter the left atrium. When the left atrium relaxes, the oxygenated blood goes into the left ventricle through the bicuspid valve. When the left ventricle contracts, the oxygenated blood is pumped into the main artery of the body, the aorta. To get to the aorta, blood passes through the aortic semilunar valve, which serves to keep blood flowing from the aorta to the right ventricle again. Carbon dioxide. The arteries branch into smaller and smaller vessels, eventually becoming very small vessels called arterioles. They are formed by the joining of small veins called venules.
Pulmonary circulation. Blood that is lacking oxygen has just exchanged oxygen for carbon dioxide across cell membranes and now has mostly carbon dioxide. This blood enters the right atrium through the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. From the right atrium, the oxygenated blood goes into the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. When the ventricles contract, the valve closes off the opening between the ventricle and the atrium, so blood doesn't flow back into the atrium. As the right ventricle contracts, it puts the deoxygenated blood through the semilunar valve and into the pulmonary artery. The semilunar valve keeps blood from flowing back into the right ventricle once it is in the pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery carries the blood that is very low in oxygen to the lungs, where it is oxygenated.